OK, now then for more, and another huge fight for Britain's unbeaten Kell Brook. He will take on the four-title world champion Gennady Golovkin in September. Let's go live now to Adam Smith in New York, who's with Golovkin.
He certainly has a huge fight, Kell Brook. Kell came over today to New York to come face-to-face with a man that so many people fear in boxing, but he's a lovely chap, really. He's unbeaten in 35 with 32 knockouts, the world middleweight champion, Gennady Golovkin. Great to see you in New York. First of all, how excited are you to come to London to defend your titles?
Oh, I'm very excited, just because I know London fans, these huge fans, and respect, because, people understand boxing and respect sport. I won't bring to London to UK fans big show, big dramatic show,
You sold out Madison Square Garden just round the corner when you beat David Lemieux last time out in California, the Forum, and now to the O2, which is a tremendous arena. We've had many, many big fights. I'm sure it'll be sold out tomorrow in minutes. It's going to be some atmosphere.
Absolutely, this was huge. It's amazing atmosphere in Madison and the Forum. I believe in O2 Arena in London, same atmosphere, because huge fan, is true fans, and best fighter, best challenger, not challenger, biggest test for us, for me. Oh, I'm very excited.
It was an unusual week for us last week. We thought Chris Eubank Jr. was going to get the challenge. That didn't happen. In steps Kell Brook, world welterweight champion, jumping up in weights. But you really rate Brook highly, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe first time. Right now, I see, wow, it's very interesting for me. Every time talking with Junior, Eubank Jr. Right now, Kell Brook. For me, respect Kell. He's man. Respect promotions, respect his team. This is big deal for us, and he's a true fighter.
And we can see people have come in history and stepped up before. Sugar Ray Leonard did it, of course, Sugar Ray Robinson. It is a tough ask for Kell Brook, but he's unbeaten in 36. He can punch. He's got great boxing ability and a good coach as well, and a lot of history there.
Absolutely. I know history like Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Duran. I remember, look, Manny Pacquiao, he came in junior middleweight. He beat Oscar De La Hoya, he beat Cotto, he beat Margarito, Right now, I understand this is biggest test for me, and he's same height like me, and probably I see he's big guy. I know I saw a couple fights, he's strong guy, for me, he's best fighter in his division, welterweight division. He's undefeated. Wow. Right now, I'm very excited.
Gennady trains in the Big Bear Mountains alongside the top man, Abel Sanchez. It's great to have you with us here today. But you know Kell Brook because, of course, you had Carson Jones come over and have a couple of fights with Kell. So you know the Ingles well, don't you?
The Ingles already beat me once. They're not going to beat me twice. They're great coaches. We came close with Carson, but that was a very green and raw Kell Brook when we fought him almost a day 4 years ago. I believe that they transformed him into a very, very good fighter. He's the best welterweight in the world, obviously the best fighter in UK. We're looking forward to not only the atmosphere, but I think the challenge that Kell will bring and the Ingles will bring against the coaching staff.
That's it, that's the challenge. What dangers do you see in Kell Brook? Obviously, he can punch and he's the welterweight, he's probably number one. We thought we might see him in with the likes of Keith Thurman. It's gone a different route. That's when these things can change, isn't it? It's a dangerous assignment.
Oh, absolutely. I think in history, if you go back and watch the guys that moved up, the nemesis for the bigger guy was the fact that they were faster, with not only with hands but with feet, and they had the right game plan. If Kell brings the right game plan in, and the Ingles put together something in his head that allows him to stay focused and do what they want, he could present a big problem for us.
And tell the British fans how proud you are of Gennady and what he's achieved through the sport and how he's got his legacy, but he's always smiling outside the ring and so destructive in it.
I've had him for a little over 6 years now, and he's the same guy today as he was then. Maybe his bank account has a couple more zeros, but he's the same humble guy, same guy that pays attention, some guys that helps the young kids in the gym. And it's a pleasure to work with somebody like that because it makes it easy, makes it interesting, and you don't have to answer some dumb questions when the fans are asking or the journalists are asking about things he's done. He's the same guy that you see, the respectful guy inside the ring. He's outside the ring. He's a family man. So it's all that comes into play when a coach has to take on a fighter that he wants to work with.
Thanks, Abel. Finally, Gennady, the British fans are really, really excited about you coming over. What sort of a statement, an impression are you going to make in September on them?
I respect my British fans, you know, just please watch TV or welcome to O2 Arena in September 10. I promise bring amazing show, amazing fight.
We look forward to seeing you, and we'll give you a cup of tea or two along the way as well. Thanks, Gennady. Thanks, Abel. Safe and good training camp in Big Bear, and we'll catch up with you. Back to you, studio. We hope to get a catch up with Kell as well, who's in great form and really, really looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah, fantastic. Looking forward to it. Thanks very much, Adam. Well, just moments ago, we heard from Gennady Golovkin ahead of the huge fight at the O2 Arena in September. Adam Smith promised us Kell, Brook, and he's about to deliver. Adam.
Yeah, thanks very much. And Kell will be aiming to deliver on September the 10th. It's been a long road since you were, what, 9, 10 in the Winkerbank gym. Here you are with the chance of a lifetime. First of all, how long really did it take you to accept the fight when Eddie called?
Instantly. I thought I want some of that. You know, I thought that fight is, you know, so exciting for the fans. It's one of them. It's a history-making fight, this one.
I mean, we all sort of think about opponents and how fights can change. You know, Amir Khan went up to challenge Canelo. Have you thought about Gennady Golovkin seriously, or even in sort of, you know, social chats before that time that you got the call, or over the last few months? Or is it just you heard the name and, bomb, I'm going to go for it?
You know, yeah, the name, it's, you know, anyone who knows me from years ago, you know, I don't back down from a challenge. I always want to, you know, to push myself and get the best out of myself. And I think it don't get much bigger and better than fighting, you know, Triple G. You know, is the middleweight king, pound for pound. You know, and this fight it's just captured the imagination, and that's what excites me. You know, I want them big fights for them. You know that I've been telling you that for years. I want these big fights and give back to the fans. They pay our wages. I want to give back. I want to give back the best fights out there for them, and this don't get any bigger than this fight.
It's really good to hear because, of course, you won the world title at welterweight against Sean Porter in that really good performance over here. But then subsequent defences really haven't got the juices flowing, have they? And it was going to be Jesse Vargas at 10 stone 7, but bomb. This opportunity comes, you've got to grasp it, haven't you?
Absolutely. You know, since winning the world title, I've not had that momentum. I've not had that momentum, and you know, I've not been getting that excited anymore about the game. Even with the Vargas fight, it was a unification, but the naming, it's still missing something. As soon as this comes up, it's a complete different kettle of fish. That gets me up in the morning. That gets me excited. I feel, you know, 10 years younger. I've got that drive. I'm excited again about shocking the world.
He's just got off a plane from London, but the eyes are really, they're alive, aren't they? What was it like going head-to-head with the big man, Golovkin, the fearsome fighter?
It feels fantastic being in New York, Madison Square Gardens. You know, this is what dreams are made of. I've always wanted to fight here. I'm fighting, you know, the most fearless man in the game. You know, to see him up close and the size of him, weighing it out. This is what we do for a living. This is what we do with gladiators. And, you know, I know that we're going to be competing. We're going to be pushing ourselves to the, you know, to the limit. September 10th, you know, the fans are in for a fantastic night of boxing.
So we've got to move to how do you win the fight? How do you go in? You are a big underdog. You know, people are saying you're too small. You can't win it at middleweight. We've seen through history that scripts can be torn up and that on that one night things can change. How do you do it? How do you go about it, you and Dominic Ingle, who you've worked together for so long?
You know what the greats have done. You know, before I leave this sport, I want to push myself and see exactly what I can do. You know, in with this man, I know I'm going to get the best out of myself. And to be the best, you've got to beat the best. You know, so, you know, I've got it all to do, but I'm willing to do it.
Dominic, we just had a word with Abel Sanchez, who set up on the dais that, you know, he really respects you. Obviously, he's gone up against you before with Carson Jones against Kell, and he says, you know, Kell's dangerous. He sees the qualities, but how do you get him to come through this on September the 10th?
You know, we've got a good training plan. He's an experienced fighter. You know, the main thing is that he believes he can beat Triple G, and that's it. It's not going to these fights. You know, somebody said earlier on, you know, Kell Bush, you know, Eddie Hearn's cashing in Kell Brook, and what I say is this. This is a fight you can't even think about money, because you're going to get seriously hurt. You've got to go into this fight with the belief you can beat this guy, because that's the only way you can win it. It's no good going in with a half-cut plan, you know, with an idea, well, you know, I'll be okay, I'm going to make some money. You know, Kell Brook's going to get the best training. He's already been in a good camp. He's done 6 or 7 weeks already. This is not a 9-week training camp for a fight. You know what, we're we're a third of a way through a camp. We're off to Fortaventura on Monday for 3 weeks in the sun. You know, we've got strength and conditioners coming in. You know, nothing's going to be left undone with Kell Brook for this fight. So, you know, people are talking about him moving up from welterweight and being the smaller guy. Realistically, he's not. You know, he's not a natural welterweight. He's probably more of a natural light middleweight.
You are realistic, you're always honest, you're always straight, but you've known this guy since he was a kid. Have you always had that belief that he can capture those big nights, those big titles, and these are the sort of challenges that he can come through?
These type of challenges are ones that motivate. You know, he's 30 years old now, and you know, when the fights, you know, after winning the world title, for me, I thought the big challenge was going to come in. He needs something to motivate him, and this is the fight that's going to motivate him. You know, he's been through life-threatening experiences, you know, in and out of the ring, really. And looking at him from 9 years old, the one thing I've said about Kell Brook over and over and over again, he always finds a way. He always finds a way. He found a way against Sean Porter. He found a way against Corson Jones halfway through that fight when it started all going wrong. He found a way to win. And, you know, Gennady Golovkin's unbeaten in 35. Kell Brook's unbeaten in 36. And there's a reason for that. And that's because they're very good fighters.
71-0, it's absolutely crackling. Finally, Kell, I asked Gennady to give a little message to the British fight fans who are looking forward to seeing him. What's your message to the British fight fans who are not sure why you're taking this fight and whether you can come through it?
You know, people might not know of Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, but you know, he's an animal. He's beating whoever they've been put in front of him. He's a super world champion at middleweight. You know, both of us have unbeaten, similar records, 35 wins, 36 wins myself. You know, it don't get no better, you know, for a matchup in boxing. So you've got to watch this fight.
A couple of hours of promotional work and you're back on the plane.
Back on the plane now, fly home, get my boxing gear out and get training.
Fantastic. Wish you the best of luck in training camp, both in Sheffield and in Fuerteventura, and we'll catch up with you during it. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, Kell. It's all said, isn't it? September the 10th is going to be a sizzler in London. Gennady Golovkin against Kell Brook. Someone's O has to go.
Cannot wait for that one. Thanks very much, Adam.